Hello and welcome to today's video. This is a really fun one. This is the final TBR of the year. We are eventually here. We are doing this final TBR. We are once again playing the Snakes and Ladders TBR game, and this is going to be the last time that everything looks the way it does. I have some really excited things planned for next year. Like, we're still going to do the TBR game, but it's going to be like 2.0, I think is the best way to say it. I'm going to just fine tune some things, get some things a bit better. So I'm really excited about that, and hopefully you'll stick around and see that. And on those lines of sticking around, 80% of the people who watch these TBR videos every month aren't subscribed. So if you do watch them and you do like them, please do consider subscribing down below. It really helps get this channel out and these videos out to more people and recommend it to more people. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in at the start of the video because I do normally say it at the end, but obviously I know not as many people are still sticking around at the end of a video. But yeah, this month we are playing Snakes and Ladders TBR to pick out December's TBR. This is my board game. I have an 8-sided die and a counter, and we go around the board. Now you'll notice that there are lots of different coloured squares on the board. Each square is a type of prompt. So if we land on a blue square, we would pick up a game prompt card from the prompt pile, and so on. Like, different squares, different types of prompts. You pick up a card, you get your prompt. Now I will say this month we do run out of other cards, and because it is the last month before the revamp, I haven't got any more to add in. So you will see in the clips when I'm doing the rolls, I decide to basically shuffle through all the cards and pick one at random right at the end. So that's what I did for that. But yeah, if you land on a snake, then you add a roll and go down to the bottom, and if you land on a ladder, you minus a roll and go up to the top. As standard, I do 6 rolls per game. 6 is a number where it's like I should definitely be able to read all of these books within a month, and even if it goes up to, like, you know, 8, 9, if we were unlucky enough to land on 3 snakes or something like that, it should technically still be just a bit manageable. But 6, if we do get actually 6, leaves me a tiny bit of room for mood reading as well. I don't think there's any other rules that we need. I don't think there's anything else you need to know. I think we can just get on with it. So yeah, let's go to the first roll. Okay, we are back on the board. We're on square 24, which is where we ended off last month. I've got some cards here. I cannot wait until next month where we can restart all of this for the next year, because we're running solo. I've tried my best to go through and find as many cards as possible, but I've just lost so many of them. So we are hoping for our best that we don't use them all. And we've got our 8-sided die over on the phone over here because I've lost mine. So that is something else I'll need to get sorted. But yeah, so let's start. Let's do roll number 1. Oh, no, I did not want to add another dice. Okay, here we go. Let's do roll number 1. So that is a 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're now doing 7 rolls rather than 6, and that has landed on other. So we'll pick the top other card. There are only 2, so hopefully we won't land on any more. And that is read it this month or unhaul it for roll number 1. So the first roll was other, and for this we got read it or unhaul it. And for this one, normally for this I go for a book that I've been umming and ahhing about for a while. I've taken a different approach with this month, and I've actually picked a book that I've only very recently got. This was in my latest book haul. You can find that linked up above. But it's a little poetry collection, and I thought, rather than putting too much pressure on myself, because December's a really busy month, and being like, oh my gosh, I need to read this book that I'm really unsure about and I can't do all this stuff about, and then feeling like I do need to unhaul it if I don't get around to it, I'm like, a small poetry collection, I can very easily find an afternoon to sit down and read this. It shouldn't be a problem no matter what. And I'm really intrigued by it as well. Like, from what I've looked at inside of it, it seems really interesting. I've just flicked a poem called But Every Soppy Fucking Song. There are poems, We Brought New Sheets. I don't know, I'm very intrigued by this. This is Running Upon the Wires. Okay, I've just realised some things. So this author is K Tempest, I believe, and yeah, this is a poetry collection of theirs. I didn't make this link until literally just now when I've read the author's name out loud, but you'll see this author comes up later in the month. I didn't even realise when buying this, I just flicked through and thought that sounded good. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm assuming this is the same author. I'm gonna have to do some research into this. Yeah, it is also by them at the front. Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is already a mess. But yeah, this is a poetry collection. I'm gonna either read it this month or unhaul it. Okay, roll number 2 is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bloody hell. Well, that's another other, so hopefully we land on no more of those. Our last other card is a book that's been on my TBR the longest, so we'll have to figure that one out. Roll number 2, we got another other, and we got a book that's been on my TBR the longest. There's still around 30 to 40 books that I got before 2021 that I haven't read yet, which is absolutely insane. But I used to buy books later on in the series when I saw them cheap at charity shops, even if I hadn't started the series or didn't own others in the series, and this is one of those. So this is the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series. This one is The Son of Neptune. I eventually got round to buying and reading book 1 in this series, I think either early this year or late last year, so I can now eventually continue on with it. So this is what I'm going to go for. This is all Percy Jackson. We have the original books, which is like Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief and those ones, and then these are kind of just like slightly older, slightly different stories, but I really did enjoy the first one that I read of this series, so I'm hoping I'll continue enjoying it. If you know nothing about Percy Jackson, essentially you have these kids who are called demigods or like half gods, and they go to Camp Half-Blood and they learn all about who their godparent is, and if they have any powers they get to hone those. And it's also, not this book in particular, but the first 5 books, the ones that are like shorter and younger than these, are coming out anytime soon with an adaptation. The adaptation's been in the works for a while, and I'm pretty sure it's coming out like next year, early next year maybe. So yeah, I want to catch up with this series. Okay, roll number 3 is a 3, so that is 1, 2, 3, which is pink, which is genre-ish, and that is sci-fi. So for roll number 3 we've got sci-fi. Then we got genre-ish, and we actually got a genre, and that is sci-fi. So for this I decided to pick iRobot. This is like a very classic sci-fi I somehow know next to nothing about, so I just thought it'd be really good. Like, I always buy these books that have like been out ages and I know nothing about, and then somehow get spoilt for them before I get to them, so I want to pick this up. In iRobot, Asimov sets out the 3 laws of robotics, designed to protect humans from their robotic creations, and pushes them to their limits and beyond. Following genius robot psychologist Dr. Susan Calvin and engineers Powell and Donovan, these short stories help to transform artificial intelligence from a dream into a science and change perceptions of robots forever. I'm really intrigued. I really want to give this a go. Okay, roll number 4. We have an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, purple square, and we are back where we left last month's off. So let's pick a visual card, and the visual is an element on the cover. I'm pretty sure we had this one last month as well, but oh well, we're running low on cards. They obviously haven't been shuffled well. Then we got a visual prompt, which is element on the cover. I'm so excited about this. This month I've eventually got my own paperback copy of Sea Sparrow. I've had to wait so long for the paperback to come out, or at least that's how it feels. This is the 5th book in the Graceling Realm series, and I really can't wait for it. I absolutely love this series. It's one of my favourites. This is such a like big chunky book that I'm going to be able to like sink my teeth into. Oh my god, I did not realise it was over 600 pages. Okay, I didn't actually realise it was quite that big, but yeah, all the rest of the books on this list should be easy. Yeah, this is the 5th book. All the first 4 books all came out just like in paperback, but obviously UK publishing has changed, so this came out in hardback first and I've had to wait. Luckily I haven't been spoiled. It's not like a super popular series, although it does have like quite a lot of readership, and I just can't wait for this. Obviously I can't actually tell you anything about this one because it is book 5, but essentially the Gracing realm revolves around these people who are either born with or very early on in their life develop 2 different colour eyes. And if you have 2 different colour eyes, it essentially means that you have a grace. A grace is a specific skill that you just naturally have. You don't need to train, you don't need to do anything, you just are naturally this thing. It is your grace. So for instance, someone could be graced in archery. They can, you know, bow and arrow, they can string, they can shoot, they can fire, no problem. They're, you know, they're just naturally perfect at it. But just because they're naturally perfect at archery wouldn't mean that they have like natural skill at like sword fighting or something that's like, you know, same sort of realm as it. So it's very like, it's a very specific grace, and like you don't really know it until you discover it. So a lot of people have graces and it's like we're discovering what those graces are as they're learning about them. I don't know, I really love this series. It's been absolutely amazing. I don't know, I think it depends on how much time I have in December, but I'm thinking of saving this one for a little bit. And if I can, I might do a reread first. I don't know, because that's a lot of books to add to the TBR, but it just kind of depends how busy or quiet the week between Christmas and New Year are as to whether I do that or not. But yeah, really, really excited about this one. Okay, roll number 5 is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is orange. So over here let's pick up an orange card. We've got type, and the type is a non-human main character. Then we got orange, which is type, and the prompt is non-human main character. So I have decided to go with the XX. Our main character is a witch, which is like a magical character. It's not human, and that's what we're going with. I know next to nothing about this. I picked it up very recently in the same shopping book haul as the first book we spoke about, so that is that one. And essentially I read A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches not very long ago, really enjoyed it, thought it was like, you know, a decent book, and this apparently has similar vibes. So, you broke my heart, Reese Penhallow, and we curse you, you and your whole stupid hotline. Vivian Jones handled the biggest breakup of her life the way that any witch would. Vodka, bubble bath, and a curse on her ex. That was 9 years ago. Now, Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's founders, breaker of hearts and still irritatingly gorgeous, is back. Reese has returned to the quaint town of Graves Glen to recharge the ley lines and make an appearance at the annual fall festival. But when his every move results in calamity, Vivi realises that hexing her ex might not have been so harmless after all. As the curse starts to affect the magic of the town, resulting in murderous wind-up toys, an outraged ghost and a surprisingly talkative cat, Vivi and Reese must put their personal feelings aside and work together to break the curse and save not just the town but also Reese's life. I'm hoping I'll enjoy it. I'm slightly worried it's going to be too cheesy for me. I don't deal well with too much cheese. Like, I like a little bit of it, like, but not too much. Like, the only way to find that out is to read it. But I enjoyed A Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and that was like cheesy. That was like borderline my meta cheesy. And as this has been like compared and said, like, you know, so much it's like comparable, I'm hoping that this will also be a fine amount of cheesiness for me. But I am intrigued by the story. I feel like going into this I just need to remember it's going to be like a soft, cute, chill time and not to expect too much from it. But when I'm in the mood for that, which I'm sure I will be at some point, I'll pick it up. Roll number 6, which is now our penultimate roll. We have a 1. That's nice and easy. That's not easy. Okay, we're on other. Okay, we're going to pull the other card once I've done the next one. Roll number 7, which is our last one, is a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, another other. Right, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, hello. So as both roll 6 and 7 landed on others and we don't have them, but I do not need these cards again. I'm going to be making fresh ones for next year. I'm just going to completely randomise them. They're being completely randomised and split them. We're going to go for this one, which is, oh, wild card, so we get to pick our own. Okay, so that's roll number 6, wild card. Then we got genre-ish again, but it was actually a wild card. Each of the prompts has a wild card in it, which basically means I get to pick anything. Now, I decided to pick this just because I wanted to get through some of my poetry. I'm starting to get quite a pile up here of poetry, and it's easy to read and easy to get through. And December's going to be busy, but somehow I picked another book by K. Tempest. This is Brand New Ancients. I didn't realise this was the same author literally until you saw me at roll 1 read the name of the author out loud. But yeah, on the back of this one it does say that they're one of the most exciting and innovative performers to have emerged in spoken word poetry in many years, and the poem Brand New Ancients that this collection is like named after won the prestigious Ted E's Prize for Innovation in Poetry. So I'm really intrigued to pick it up. I want to know more and I want to figure out more. I will say I do believe the name and pronouns on both of these books are outdated. I do believe that they haven't been updated. I don't know if they're being reprinted. I don't know. I've got this one, you know, second hand at a charity shop, and I got the first one at 66 books. So obviously there's just like a massive pile of them. I didn't look to see if there was any difference between anything, I just picked it up. But yeah, I would just like to point that out because obviously don't want to miss like pronoun or misname people. And let's do roll number 7. Let's split them. Graphic novel / manga for roll number 7, which was another genre one. Okay, and then last but not least, our final roll got us another genre-ish, which obviously was actually another other like the previous one, but this was graphic novel / manga. I've picked up Ballad for Sophie. Now I am saying that I can swap this out. I don't know if I'm going to get the new Heartstopper as soon as it comes out or not. But if I do, and I don't have time to get to 2 graphic novels in the month, then I can just swap this out for the newest Heartstopper, which gets published on December 7th. But for now, this is the only graphic novel that I still have on my unread pile. So I'm really intrigued by it. It looks so good. The imagery, the colours, everything in this just looks so cool. Honestly, this is just like my colour palette. I really like it. I am really vibing with it. I don't know very much about this one. It's a young journalist and a exclusive music superstar, and I'm really intrigued because I can't really figure out what it is. I do think it's set over the wall, which is something that I don't usually like, but I'm open enough to it because of how nice it looks, and I picked this up on like recommendations from bookish videos. So yeah, on the little inside flap it looks like it's going to span between 1933 and 1997. The 1993 says, in a small French village of Cressy-le-Velouse, I'm so sorry about that pronunciation, a local piano contest brings together 2 brilliant young players, Julien Dubois and the privileged heir of a wealthy family, and Francis Sampson, the janitor's son. One wins, one loses, and both are changed forever. 1997, in a huge mansion stained with cigarette smoke and memories, a virtuoso who hasn't played a note in decades is shaken by the unexpected visit of an interviewer. Somewhere between reality and fantasy, Julian begins to relate a complex and moving story about the cost of success. I'm really intrigued by it. I really want to give it a go, and I can't wait to do that in December. So those are all of the books that we are hopefully going to be reading this month. I think it should be a really fun time. I should hopefully get through, you know, well, hopefully all of them, but I feel like I've picked Except for the big sea sparrow one, I feel like all of the others have quite a low commitment value to them. Like they are all going to be very easy reading and easy to get through, which I feel like is probably what I'm going to need. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I really do hope that you've enjoyed the video. I don't have anything else to add, I don't think. There are a couple of readathons happening, but none that I've committed to yet, and I think if I do any readathons in December, they're just going to be low-key. If books that I read fit, great. If they don't, I won't worry. So yeah, that's it from me today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please do give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe down below for more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.